I'm your ice cream man, baby. Stop me when I'm passing by. Harleys and Hairspray. You say it's your birthday. Do 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 do. It's Harleys and Hairspray. Do 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 do. Hi.
I'm gonna like take my hair down. You're gonna make me like flip it all out.
Woo! Were you a go-go dancer when you were younger?
Oh, I danced anywhere I could, but I don't think I had the white boots. I would have loved a pair of white boots.
Shag now or shall we shag later?
No.
Yes. Hey, thanks for hosting at your undisclosed location.
Yes, anytime in this undisclosed location.
This is yet another episode, daily conversations. You guys join us on this level. We want to know what you're thinking. Join us on
here. Now,
here.
Join us on this laptop. I mean, on this YouTube. I mean, on this join us.
Yeah, on
journey.
Join us on this join us. Well, no, we need to have this be interactive. So tell us what you think. Tell us why you haven't committed your life to art. What's keeping you from it? What are the roadblocks? And if you have, what's your strategy? What's your path? What's your philosophy? We want to create a community of conversation so that people don't feel alone in their disparate pockets of creativity. We want to combine, we want to collaborate, at least philosophically, if nothing else. We want to bring people together. We want to unify and unite. And the first steps are we open the door to conversations and to sharing. The next steps are you bring in the sharing through the doors we've just opened. So you know what I'm talking about.
Preach, baby, preach.
Drop us a line, subscribe, tell us what you're thinking. We will respond. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
We're not too busy. Ain't too proud to beg. We're not too busy to respond.
Please subscribe.
Let's go.
Please say the thing.
That's right.
Okay, what do you want to talk about? Are you ready?
I'm so ready. So
are you?
in our previous episode,
yes.
we discussed. Do you recall what we discussed?
We discussed being naive and the awesomeness of that. We discussed, once again, tension by gathering things that aren't our thing, and then we use them. And
the notion of just being. Just allowing yourself the freedom to
And he's
flow.
Quite soulful today. There's something going on
I'm in a soulful
with him.
Was it you? And if it was, yeah. It
was always me.
I think a couple of years ago, you uttered a phrase about, I really think it was you. You're right, it's always you. You uttered the phrase about sailing rather than rowing. So we have a destination.
Yep.
And we can force our way there and work unnecessarily hard, maybe sometimes against the elements, against the conditions, to our own detriment of fluidity, versus this idea of, I'm going to use my elements in my environment and my experience to sail to my destination. It requires accumulated skill, of course. It requires acumen, of course, but it doesn't require a forcing or an unnecessary effort. And once you catch the wave, the wind, whatever that is, right? You can sail to your destination and use the elements in your favor as your compadres, your accomplices in getting there, versus the fighting through the conditions to make your art. What are your thoughts on sailing versus rowing in your artistic world?
Here's what I admire about sailors. That sounds like a really good setup for a joke.
Oh boy.
Here's what I love about sailors.
Well, do tell.
Well.
My favorite pub song, Jack was every inch a sailor. But the mic is yours.
But carry on. Truly what I admire about people who sail is that they know how to respond. And there's something happening within the water, in the wind, and they know where to go, and they do the thing that they need to do in order for the boat to do the thing it needs to do, and it wants to do. And so it's a dance of, it's a 3-part dance of wind, water, and you. And you're in that, and you have to listen and respond, and you have to work with, because working against is not going to help. And I think that's a really interesting way in to, you know, I've talked about this, about, you know, hitting whatever we want to call that flow state, that when you're into the art. I think that's really cool about, like, we can discuss, we can go there with it. But I also think there's something about that we've talked about it before, that you have a great language for, which is about collaboration. And it's one thing to do a one-person show. I've done a number of them and I love them. It's another thing to be in a scene with somebody and actually surrender and listen into where the energy is going between the 2 or 3 or 4 of you, and follow that and adapt and respond. You talk about it in music. I think that's where I go with sailing. Versus rowing. Rowing would be like a one-person show. I'm doing my thing, and I'm just staying on the track, and I know where I'm going, and I'm going to get there, and I've got a script, and I'm going to follow it, and I have to surrender, I guess, to my strength, right? I might have to be ready for that, but it's not the same thing at all. It's a totally different experience. Yeah, and that's where I go. And we can go to the obvious thing, like rowing is forcing. Rowing is like pushing your way through, and sailing is flow. But I feel like that's kind of obvious. People will get that already. I would like to play more in the responsiveness.
Remember you mentioned contact improv
Mm-hmm.
and how there's a response to somebody's emotion, and you respond back and you move in a different way. And it's when you were talking about you, wind, water,
Yep.
and responding, exactly the same contact improv process, right? Of collaborating with someone and working in tandem to inhabit their response as yours and let it move you elsewhere, which then will take you to a new place to which then your partner, collaborator needs to respond to. And so there's this constant symbiotic dance that goes on. Okay. So what if we were to put that into action, and maybe we'll use a little bit from your world of words and my world. In this case, let's just keep it rhythmic. So we'll call it musical, but rhythmic. So maybe let's combine our two worlds and see what we can do. Because what I want to do is find a way to activate the sailing when you don't have any ideas at the ready. So I wonder what sailing, how can you quickly tap into the notion of sailing rather than rowing when you begin a new day and you want to warm up, do a creative warm up for your day of creativity. Or maybe you're just teaching a grade 2 class of music students and you have nothing. Well, why don't we start with our environment? Today I brought a dog to our undisclosed location. I frequently do, is our favorite collaborator, Maximus. But why don't we use, so in sailing, I think, instead of overthinking, let's just be. Let's, number one, use our bodies. They're with us. They're a natural instrumentarium. And what I love about the bodies is that when we do, for example, body percussion, you frequently use your mouth to create soundscapes, right?
It's my favorite.
Yeah, no, wah, 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 and all that. So we naturally do that.
Yes.
So we have feet that could stomp, we could patch on our laps, we could clap, obviously, we could snap, make sonic noises, oral noises. So we are walking, living entities of percussion, right? Okay. Yeah. Now, what if I were to take you, and this is just off the top of my head, what if I were to take you on a safari?
Yeah.
Now notice, I'm starting my new day of creativity with no ideas whatsoever.
Okay.
I'm just pulling on the obvious. The most obvious thing, our physical selves. Number two, let's put us in a situation, we're in a safari.
Okay.
In a safari, we might see alligators. Okay, if I were to say to you, can you pick a body percussion level for alligators? Would you do alligator, or would you do alligator, or would you do alligator, or would you do alligator? What feels good to you?
Alligator, because I think about an alligator's mouth.
Oh, so it's quite literal.
Yeah, very literal.
Okay, so we have alligators. Okay, we're going to commit that to memory. That's layer one.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Now we're going to see some snow leopards. leopard, snow leopard. Hold on, hold on.
Okay.
You will notice that alligator has a particular quality.
Yeah.
Alligator. It's very marchy.
Yeah, yeah.
Snow leopard is more cyclical, like snow leopard, snow.
And that's because of the vowel, yeah?
It's yes, and also because we have snow leopard. We have 3 of them. And anytime you work with a group of 3, you're thinking waltzy ideas. You're thinking 6/8.
Right.
You're thinking jigs, like in this case, a very slow jig. But snow leopard has a circularity to it that alligator does not, because it's more automated marching.
Yeah.
It's more boxy.
Yeah.
Because there's 4. Exactly. So now we've allocated the claps to alligator. What body percussion do you think we should use? Claps are done, where they're spoken for. What body percussion do you think we should use for snow leopard?
We have to make noise. We have to make. Of course
we have to make noise.
That's the dancer me was like, what would I do? No, it's not stomping, is it? What is it? Oh, I might.
Why don't we patch it? Yeah, snow leopard. But we need 3 of them because there's 3 vowels. So snow leopard, snow leopard.
Oh yeah,
you got a snow leopard.
That feels right.
But hold on. What if we combine? So now on a safari, I really want to spend more time with the alligators, but you're so attracted to the snow leopards.
Yes.
Let's just put them together.
Okay.
We as a team, outside this window in our Jeep, the window that doesn't exist in a Jeep on a safari, I'm looking at the alligators, so I will speak to the alligators in my way, and you speak to the snow leopards on this side of the Jeep at exactly the same time.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
I'll count us in. You do your snow leopard. I'll do my alligator at exactly the same time.
Yep.
Are we inspired at all? No. We're just drawing on things that already exist in our real world.
Okay.
But this may be a great gateway to promote inspiration or a different kind of thinking, or giving yourself permission to just go, right? And just be. What are you?
I'm snow leopard, snow
so
leopard,
appropriate.
Snow leopard.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Snow leopard, snow leopard, snow leopard, snow leopard, snow.
What if we remove our words, remove our voice, and just leave it to and leave it to, okay?
Yep.
5, 6, 7, 8. Great. As we drive along our safari, we notice a chimp.
Cute!
Solitary. Chimp. You know where I see the chimp?
Where?
He's up in the trees.
Okay.
He's up in the trees, and so are my snaps. They're up here.
Okay.
Chimp.
Chimp. Just one chimp?
Chimp. Just one chimp.
Chimp.
Right?
On the one chimp? Oh, you're not going to tell me.
Why don't we mix and match? Can you do chimp, snow leopard?
Yeah.
So for you it would be chimp, snow leopard, chimp.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And I'm going to flip it and do my alligator first when you're doing your chimp.
Okay.
When I finish with my alligator, I'm going to enjoy the chimp.
This is also, just so you know, how you don't get Alzheimer's. Just so you know, we're totally exercising our brain.
So just to review, you're doing chimp,
chimp,
snow leopard,
chimp, snow.
Let's go.
Chimp, snow leopard, chimp, snow leopard, chimp, snow leopard, chimp, snow.
You notice I went to the next step and removed the vocalizations.
Oh,
I did it with no words.
You did.
I'm much more interested in our body percussion composition.
Okay.
Because then it'll just take on a new meaning.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
You're doing what you're doing. I'm doing what I'm doing. No words.
Okay.
5, 6, 7, 8. Nope. I think you had the chimp first.
I did it backwards.
But it's okay.
I'm allowed to. I can change it up.
Take 2. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
Okay, well, we're on the same. I flipped it so we'd have different chimps. Do the chimp first, okay?
That's awesome. Okay,
and
she's
then,
contrary, remember?
Contrarian. Do your chimp followed by a snow leopard.
Okay, I'll just do what you're telling me to do.
I just want the contrast so we hear the
know.
layers come in and out. 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. And of course, I feel like a conductor all of a sudden. I'm doing the cutoff.
Oh yeah.
Very dramatic cutoff. So, and of course, we could do elephant. Now, a couple of things. An elephant would be stompy, right? Elephant. Yeah. But the idea is that while we're using what's obviously with us, our body percussion, and then we go into the world, I could have chosen food groups, banana, cucumber, all of that. So my choices are relevant, but it needs to be decisive so that you have a place to go and something to draw on.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that,
mm-hmm.
it's not accidental.
Mm-hmm.
Every animal that we saw
mm-hmm.
had a different rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
So that there would be a complementary contrast.
Mm-hmm.
If I gave you an animal that had 4 vowels and was alligator, we just have when we remove the words, we'd all just be doing boo, 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 alligator or whatever, right? So it's important to then, as you're sailing and going through the obvious, you also want to say, okay, but this works with this with no redundancy. It's complementary. And then this works in exactly the same fashion. So in fact, my animal selections were not random or accidental.
Mm-hmm.
They were quite premeditated because I know they work together, but each one has their own spot to fill because each one sounds unique when compared to the others, but all of them are complementary to one another.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not some genius. I'm not crazy intellectual. Although that's up for another debate in another episode. The point is, can all of us not venture on a really simple activity like this and combine one thing with another thing that's out there in the world? You could be teaching your children's book or reading your children's book and teaching your kids about animals or sports or fabrics or flowers or birds or whatever it is. Everything that's around you is filled with potential openings or potential inspiration, open doors to activities of creativity.
The oven is singing.
Which means our episode is over.
That's our chicken.
And there it is. Peace. And our timing is incredible. I'm your ice cream man, baby. Stop me when I'm passing by.